Hey everybody, Jack Campbell here with Keller Williams Realty. I'm here today excited to have my friend here, Jami Shapiro. She's with Silver Linings Transitions, and she's got a really neat occupation. And what she does is she helps people make transitions, not the real estate portion of the transition, but get organized for their move. I can't. There's got to be so much involved in there that we have to share with everybody.
There is. That was a great intro, by the way. Like, I can go home now.
Yeah, you're done?
Done
Nothing left to talk about?
Right.
No. Well, tell me a little bit about how did you even get into this business? How did this, was there a passion somewhere that led you here?
Yes. So it's a much longer story than I can go into, but needless to say, so the company's named Silver Linings Transitions because I ended up with a cancer diagnosis 18 years ago. I was actually doing something that didn't fulfill me, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew it wasn't what I was doing. And I discovered the National Association, at the time it was of Senior Move Management, but now it's Senior and Specialty Move Management, because we don't just help seniors. And it was the light bulb moment that everybody wants to have, like, wow, I can do something that helps people. So to your point, as a realtor, your job is to guide people through the process of selling the home, and you take care of the house and that part. But what about all of the rest of what goes involved when you sell a house? Because you don't sell a house and stay in your house.
Right.
You have to move from the house. And moving is one of life's top 5 major stressors.
Huge stress.
Right. So we work with the realtors who are helping their clients to get the house ready for sale, but then we are also handling the entire move and all of the logistics that go into it. But most importantly, we're managing the stress and and all of the little moving parts. We manage the movers. We have vetted relationships with movers. What I like to tell people is, it used to be that we would clean our own houses, right? And now many people, if they're lucky, have someone who comes in that they trust. They can leave the key and the person comes in and cleans, and this person goes about their life. That's what we do for a move, because moves can take, we can take vacation days and the stress. Wouldn't you rather take a vacation? Yeah. And so my little slogan that I brought my wand to share today is that
Glad you did.
We make moves magical, because really that's what people say. They're like, not only are you, packing and unpacking, but we are organizing the house, putting things away. So it's like hiring an organizer and someone to unpack your home simultaneously.
Well, it's so funny because when people step into this transition, this move thing, right? A lot of people don't think through all the steps involved in it. And the reality is, in a normal life without a real estate transaction or without a move, our lives are already busy, right? Whether you are a full-time executive and you've got kids in school and everything else going on in life and moving and shaking, or you're a senior making a transition, it doesn't matter. The truth is, we're all actually quite busy with the things either that we enjoy or the things that we have to accomplish. But one way or another, our lives are busy. Then we go into this move thing that absorbs a lot of energy, right? And goes into places that make you uncomfortable because you're not familiar. And then that's to think that you would go into endeavor like this and just have the extra time, a whole nother full-time job to organize and manage this transition. It's real daunting. So I applaud you for stepping into that role, because it is a huge support for people making transitions like this. So steps, there's got to be like a logical series of events that take place. If you could take a minute and share kind of how that process works, I think that would probably help enlighten some folks.
Absolutely, for sure. So the first thing, it's important to come from a plan. So whenever possible, we like to see the space that someone is going into. Oftentimes we're working with people who are downsizing, but we definitely work with people who are, going into their dream homes. But we start with a plan, if we can, where we measure the space, and then we create a to-scale version of that floor plan, looking at what they have and what's going to fit, and knowing physical limitations or any of those other things. We can help them if they want to buy furniture. We can give them advice on what size they should be looking for, what they should be looking for. So we do the plan. Then we start sorting with our clients. What is it that you really need and want and love, and what is it that we can discard? Especially for a long distance move, you don't want to pay to take things that you aren't going to really use ultimately, because then you're paying for freight. So helping people sort through their belongings. Then we organize all of the logistics. to your point, people don't move every day. We do this every day. So we have vetted relationships with professionals who we know that if they don't do a good job, they're not going to work with us anymore. So you're not going to have the hassles of the movers and the times. And if we have a mover that's scheduled, they're going to show up on time or they're going to have to deal with us. So we handle all of the logistics. Then we pack everything. We actually, when it's a local move, we use reusable bins, which are amazing. They're great for the environment, but they're also super efficient. So we can put everything into these bins. The lids are already attached. We label them so we know what room they're going to go into. And then the next day, we meet the movers at the house. We load the wardrobes, the perishables, all the last-minute items that didn't go. And then by the end of that night, what I tell people is you will be able to sleep in a made bed. You will have a kitchen that is unpacked and a bathroom that is unpacked. If we can't finish the job, sometimes we used to finish. Before COVID, we'd bring in like a huge team and then everything would get done. But we found that it's easier and less stressful for everybody if we do it into a 2-day process. But you stay comfortably, you find your coffee pot so that you can get up the next morning and you have coffee.
Functional.
Right. And then the second day we'll go in, we'll hang pictures, we'll hang drapery. If you don't like where we've put something, we can tweak it. And the other thing is sometimes in advance we will do a layout of the kitchen and say, okay, you tell us what's going to go in each cabinet so that when we're packing it, we already know where everything is going to go. And sometimes for my move, because I got to be a client when I went through a divorce, I'm not organized, which is the funny part of this whole thing. And I'm just like, you guys go to town and I have an organized house, which would not have happened for me because that's not my strength. I'm really good at waving my magic wand and, and marketing, but we've got amazing professional organizers who know what should go where and have a talent for making it fit.
Yeah, the high C personality type that like things put in their right places and very detailed and organized.
That's right.
Yeah.
The disc pro, yeah.
So that's it's important to have the right people in the right places.
I'll
tell you,
absolutely.
On your comment about the movers, I tell you, it's interesting because when you're trying to find movers, one of the challenges of being a mover is they go in and are attempting to assess how much time and space they're going to need to pack up your things. And I can't tell you how many times I hear a lot of frustration coming from owners moving because there's kind of a little bit of bait and switch going on oftentimes where the movers will book at one price, get there, and either they make a mistake and don't understand how much stuff there is to pack up, or sometimes there's some scrupulous ones out there that'll take advantage of homeowners and
for sure
and show up day of moving and when they don't have any other options and obviously change the pricing.
And I hear those stories.
I do. I heard it recently. And it can be sizable sums of money, especially when you're moving across the country. So
I think people also don't always anticipate really what their true needs are going to be. And so there's we'll get this done. And I can't tell you how many times we'll get a phone call last minute like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to be done and the movers are coming tomorrow. Can you come and help? So everything done proactively is always going to be less stressful. And so if people can bring us in and we can, and the other thing is we don't have to do the entire move. I mean, we would love to do the entire move, but some people just want us to do the breakables in the kitchen, or some people, want us to do only the unpacking, and they're okay with doing the packing. So we really will tweak what we do around the client. Yeah.
Well, what amazing! I mean, what a amazing gap fill that is as an occupation and a service to provide, because it's one of those things that I do think that everybody, if they haven't considered it, they should even look at it as an option, because it creates sanity in a place where there's a lot of chaos.
It does.
And I appreciate that about you.
And I applaud that you are innovative in wanting to bring something like this to your clients, because, it shows that you're thinking outside of, just selling their house. Like all the other parts that are going to be needed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being on today. I appreciate it. If anybody wants any additional information, there is contact information for both of us down below in the comments, or feel free to reach out anytime. I'd be excited to introduce any of my clients to Jami as well.
I appreciate that.